We just go cut it like that? All right, Ryan Akers Show.
Yo, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to M.O.R.A.L.S. I am your host, the great Ryan Akers. Not playing. M.O.R.A.L.S, the Mind of Ryan Akers live show. And guess what? Today, I have another special guest, a very intelligent guest, an astute guest even. Dare I say techie? You know what I'm saying? It's good information we want to be able to cast out there amongst the people and go live. So I say, trying to make all this work today. I don't know if I'm doing too good rapping, but anyway, today's episode is about tech, and it's about going live and fusing them together and having a festival about all of those great things here in the city of Houston, Texas. So without further ado, Mr. Kahlil Vinson.
Pleasure, man.
How you doing, sir?
Doing good, man. How you doing?
I'm great, man. Appreciate you taking the time and stopping by M.O.R.A.L.S today to come share some of your wisdom with us, man.
Yeah, man. It's a pleasure to do this. I know we were talking about it and, finally got a chance to do it.
Yeah, we had to make it happen.
Most definitely.
This guy is a phenomenal young gentleman out here. He's paving the way for the next generation of thought leaders, thinkers, and also techies, right? So who better to speak about this than Kahlil? So really quick, man, I want you to give the viewers some background on you, man. Like, we just had the conversation off camera, but about where you from, you know what I mean? And what brought you to Houston, Texas?
Yeah, so Kahlil Vinson, I was born in St. Louis, Missouri, raised here. Yeah, in the Lou, man, the show me state. Was raised here in Houston, grew up here majority of my time. Graduated from Texas State University in 2019 with my computer information systems degree. With that, I just I had a love for technology, but also had a love for like entertainment, love for kind of hosting events. And I got a chance to merge the two with the company that I started, Tech Fest Live. So I'm sure we'll get more into it.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
So my man say graduated from college. So salute to you for that, man.
Appreciate it.
College is not for everybody, but for those that is, if you're going to go, finish.
It's a great social experiment.
You know what? 100%. That's one of the things that I missed. Let me say that. The military for me was the social experiment, and that was crazy. But I think college has a different type of social experiment.
I don't know if this is on topic, but it's needed. Like,
I feel you.
I feel like
did you grow from your experience in college?
Yeah, socially, it's how I'm like kind of feel like why I'm in the position I am today is because I got that experience whether it was having to wake up on my own or having to make choices. Do I go to this party? That was really what it was. It's like, okay, now I feel like I can move and step in this world because I, was able to put my own responsibilities together.
Yeah, listen, there's a lot of people that I know personally. I had a family member that went to college and never went to class. Like literally got kicked out the first semester because they chose not to go to class. I don't even understand that myself.
Yeah.
Being able to be responsible is very needed, especially in today's society. I didn't even know we were going to go this direction, but in today's society right now, being responsible is a very key factor. I don't think that it's talked about enough, nor do I think that it's pushed upon the young people right now to be responsible. Hell, older people.
Yeah.
To just be responsible about our decisions, our choices. Like you just said, you made a choice to have to get up and go to class, right? Or to do your homework.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? To study even, right? To become this particular individual. So since we're talking about college right now, what made you go into, not made you, but what steers you into the computer information field?
Yeah. So, my stories, I wasn't coding at 12 years old. I wasn't in any of those type of classes. Not that, because my parents didn't want to put me in those classes. That just wasn't my interest. I was interested in hanging out with my friends. I was interested in music. I was playing sports, basketball. So those were where I found my interest lied at. So I saw computer information systems as an opportunity to make some money.
That's a real thing.
I was just like, man, where's technology going right now? Where's this world going? It felt like that was the smart thing to do. And I did it. It was hard.
So nobody is like your dad or your mom into that field?
No, not at all.
Totally did a one-off. You're like,
yeah, it wasn't even like, hey son, or hey nephew, or
yeah.
I think you should like. It was just like kind of like, yeah, this is what I think I'm gonna just do this.
Wow, that's amazing. Yeah. You just had an epiphany, like, this is what I'm gonna do.
Yeah, I mean, I did my research, but it was like, it has to be tech, because I was looking at the guess the market, right? The job
Bro,
market.
share this. I like right now. This information that you're giving away is amazing because how old were you when you made these decisions? 18 maybe.
Yeah, whatever the age is for.
Yeah,
18.
I mean, some people go earlier, some people go late.
No, I was like pretty much on track. So yeah, we'll say 18.
So at 18 at Texas State, right? You just kind of decided you were looking at the landscape, was what he said. He was looking at the landscape of the future and saw that computer information systems and technology was the way to go to make money.
Yep.
That's amazing. That's pretty dope.
Yeah, you got to do your research, but you also got to. It was more of like a gut feeling, right? Because I could have done that and changed my major. Yeah. Right.
Yeah,
so,
sure.
And I wanted to sometimes, like, bro, some of those classes. Yeah. I was never have been the strongest coder. Yeah. But I like the business side of technology. So like we were doing like ERP systems and like different.
Explain to them what ERP.
So ERP systems is like logistics. So basically, let's say you're running a milk business and you got to make sure that this product gets to Illinois, to Miami, like to all the different places. So ERP systems helps to run business. At least that's what I got.
Process. I got you.
The process.
It's all good. I just wanted to give the people the information. You know what I mean? They might be trying to figure out what's an ERP.
Yeah, for sure.
Dope.
For sure.
Listen, I'm a little bit more intrigued now, so we can dive into this as to the spinoffs, because there's different type of jobs you could have gotten, like you just said, right? And although you say that you weren't a good coder, can you code now?
I can code now, but that time has came and went.
You did what you need to do.
Yeah, that time has definitely came and went. But I think I'll share this. So when I was in that CIS degree program, I didn't see anybody really in my class that looked like me. It was probably like 3 other Black people.
Yeah, wow.
And so for me, that was like, I wasn't confident, honestly. Now that I've reflected and looked back, I really wasn't confident in my skills because there's all these other kids in the class that they've been coding and doing this stuff since they were 12 years old, since they were 6 years old. And I'm like, they're talking about, oh yeah, I'm finna go get a job at IBM. I'm going to Microsoft. I'm like, they're not finna hire me. Like, I don't got those skill sets that y'all have. So I felt almost like I didn't feel like I could do it.
Not qualified.
Yeah, I just really didn't. I just really didn't feel qualified. And I kind of got to this point with TechFest Live because of that feeling of not feeling qualified. I almost felt like a rebel. Like, I don't think the bigger companies are going to accept me. I don't think I have the skill set right now to do it. So I'm going to go create my own thing and then get them to buy into that.
So that's great. So you jumped a little bit, but since we're there, let's talk about this. So from graduating and having did you work, get hired at another company before starting TechFest Live? So
I was at school. I was working at Penske as a manager trainee as my college job. I was working in Austin, and then I transferred to the Houston location, and then that's when COVID and everything happened. Furloughed, like, you know what I'm saying, laid off, all that thing, and then in the midst of that, so I started TechFest Live in 2019. Okay, so I was at the end of 2019. So yeah, right out of college.
So the name of the company that you created, which is also a nonprofit, am I correct?
Yeah, nonprofit. All right,
so it's a 501. It's called TechFest Live. And if I'm hearing this correctly, you created TechFest Live as a means to allow other individuals, young people, feel accepted?
Yeah, so feel accepted, but also get an opportunity to get what us as professionals can get. We could go to CES in Vegas. We can go to South by Southwest.
Which is dope, by the way. People don't even know the CES is dope.
Man,
technology forum that's in Vegas in January, actually, this year coming up, 2025. So if you get the opportunity to go, check it out.
Most definitely.
A lot of technology.
It'll probably change your life, honestly, just by attending. But so I actually went to CES in 2020, which was kind of part of so I started the business 2019, had the idea like, okay, I think I'm going to do this. Went to CES on a whim. And then after that, I was like, oh yeah, my idea is already they're doing it for professionals already, right? Exactly. So if how many people did they have? Like 130,000 people.
I would say it's thousands.
Yeah, can convene on Vegas as adults, and they're excited and they're literally beaming because there's so much technology. I'm about
to say it's a lot of tech people there.
Yeah, why can't we do this for middle school and high school students? So that was my whole thing of wanting to do this. Professionals, we can go to Afro Tech, Blackest Tech, all these different
Shout out to
events.
Afro Tech.
Yeah. Just in the city, it was a dope experience. But no, I did not see that lane for middle school and high school students. So that's really what made me creative. It's like, man, when I was in middle school, high school,
What if you knew about this?
yeah, I wish I had a Tech Fest Live. Maybe I would have been an engineer.
Yeah.
Like you just don't know.
We don't see enough, and I spoke about this on another podcast. We don't see enough of us being represented in certain places.
Mm-hmm.
And even if we are represented in some of those doors, it's not pushed to our community the same way that being an athlete, a rapper, or a drug dealer is, right? And then even for our women, like they push the housewives, which aren't housewives at all, right? Or, you know what I mean? It's like a crazy concept. And then the thing about it is they're pushing this more to our community specifically, which is killing us. And we're one of the dopest and most creative communities on the planet. Fact.
Yeah.
This is not something that we have to make up.
There's no debate.
Right? Like literally most of the I'm taking a lot of credit right now, but if you go look it up, most of the things that have been created are by people that look like us, right? Melanated individuals on this planet. So a lot of different things that take place. And I said the same thing. Had I learned at a younger age that you could run for office and you can retire in 5 years, like, what? I didn't know that.
I had no idea.
Exactly. I'm saying, who knows that, right? Like, except for the people that work in the, you know what I mean? In these state offices or whatnot, they get pensions and things of that nature, right? And then, like, to your credit, talking about technology, my daughter, who's now 21, when she was in middle school, I remember there's a thing, it exists now, it's called Khan Academy. Khan Academy used to be free. I don't know if it's still free or not, but it's a super dope coding platform for children. Literally, they can learn how to create their own games, just learn coding in a fun and explorative way. And my daughter was like super interested. Now she's like super into Korean culture, K-pop, and what do you call those? The anime and all those type of things. But she got that based off of the coding platform and Khan Academy and those type of things. But that didn't exist for us.
Yeah.
It's not even something that was talked about, period. Like, did you hear somebody talk about that in St. Louis?
Nah,
Or even here?
Even in my early years, middle school, high school in Houston, like it just wasn't a part of the conversation. Now, granted, like it was early, but still, like I feel like, well, it depends on who it is, because early for a certain group of people like us is late.
Right.
You know.
Well, thank you.
Unfortunately, like our early,
but you're not lying. You're not lying at all to that aspect.
That's why I'm doing what I'm doing, because they already give us the rules late to the game. And so like for me with technology,
I love that analogy too.
Yeah. Like with technology, man, if we don't, this is the last Speak on opportunity, man. This is the last opportunity for us to either, I guess, break even or make a profit with our talent, make a profit with our being, right? Technology can take us to that next level. And it doesn't have to be what they tell us. It doesn't have to be, just be a coder engineer. Like they love to throw that out there. Like, you want to be
the simple things, right?
Yeah, but that's not even simple. Like, I mean, you're going to have to put some work in to be a coder and engineer. Sure. And so for me, I'm like, why aren't we talking about sports tech? Why aren't we talking about healthcare technology or agriculture tech or, transportation technology? McDonald's and JP Morgan are both technology companies. Yeah. So it's just the perception.
I love the fact that he just so eloquently put that out there. Like when you think about McDonald's, especially now, in some of the places, McDonald's is all tech. It's like, cook your food, you order tech, right? Everything is tech now. It's moving to that field. Even with me and the insurance brokerage, we're an insured tech company, right? A lot of the things that we offer are technology based to help out our consumers and client base, right? So I get that, but I want to make sure that the individuals that are out here right now can understand, one, the name of the company that Kahlil has founded is TechFest Live. It's been in Houston. This is how many years they've been doing this?
5th year.
This was his 5th year. So if you're ever in the Houston area, you need to be looking up TechFest Live, first of all, especially if you have children. Middle school to high school? Yeah,
middle school to high school. You can find us at techfestlive.com. That's our website, Instagram, LinkedIn, all that's TechFest Live.
I want to furthermore just shout out the fact that this is an imperative topic for our community for multiple reasons. And I'm going to use this platform really quick to touch bases and even speak life into another platform that's out there called Fanbase. Isaac Hayes, I think he's the third, has put this together for our community. I mean, it's like founded by us, for us to be able to go out here and take advantage of it. So if you like TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, blah, 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 he's like pushed it all into one, has a super dope platform. You can also invest into it right now and get shares and be an owner into the same platform that you're using.
Super dope.
And it's a tech company.
Yeah, that's super dope.
And I don't think that we're taught one, nor do we think about the impacts that us collaborating can have, or even exploring those type of things. So I'm appreciative of TechFest Live and some of the things that you guys are doing. Well, not some, but everything that you did.
Thank you.
But I want to go a little bit deeper into the TechFest Live. So when you're hosting these particular events, is this was your biggest one? Or
Yeah. So we've gratefully have been able to scale 200% in attendance since the beginning. So
what's the when you say a 200%? Give me what's a number? How many people were able to?
Yeah, if you don't mind, I'll give you the attendance history. So we did our first expo virtually, of course, because of the pandemic in 2020. We had about 50 students there. Second year was at 2021. We had about 90 students be a part, again, virtually because of the pandemic.
Oh, gotcha.
At 2022, we hosted our first in-person expo at the Ion. We had about 400 students be a part of that. We did it on a Saturday, which actually, it was a Saturday, it was raining, and it was like the World Series. So I don't know how we still managed to get 400 people there, but we did. And then last year, we hosted at Post Houston. We had about 11. Yeah, we had about 1,100 students be a part of that. And then this year, we just hosted our 5th annual expo at the University of Houston, their Tech Bridge campus. We had around probably 2,200 attendees. I think maybe 1,800 of those were students.
Salute to you. Well,
thank you, man. Appreciate you.
Listen, as somebody who's put on events, I don't know if people know how hard it is to stay motivated when you're doing it, because you're doing so much prep work. But also, when putting this together, sometimes you have to have sponsors. Did TechFest Live have any sponsors this year?
Yeah, the only way that we could do this is with sponsors. Shout out to all of our sponsors. This year, we were blessed to have 4 gold sponsors. That was Captive Studios, Citgo, Microsoft, and UL Research Institute, or the Electrochemical Safety Research Institute.
Wow.
Cash App, Comcast, Smart Golf were a few of our other sponsors as well. So, I mean, I can't do this without sponsorship, because it just,
this is a 501.
Yeah.
Right. So,
yeah.
You know what? And now that we're talking about this, do you guys have a link or something that, or can they go on the website and donate?
Yeah, there is a donate button on our website. You can also, we also have like Zelle, so you can use our email address, which is just Kahlil, Kahlil at techfestlive.com, techfestlive.com. So if you want to send some donations our way to help the students that we serve, we greatly appreciate it, for sure.
And this is a 501c3, so it says fully tax deductible. Can they get a receipt or something like that? I know people out there, y'all are saying, yeah, I don't mind donating, Ryan. I'll kick back, but I need a receipt to show for my taxes.
Yeah, I think we can get you a receipt. We can get you a receipt.
So just know that your donations are tax deductible and you can get a receipt. He gave you his email, the website. But let's think about how important this is, and could be not just for Kahlil and the students in Houston, right? But how important is this for your children, your family, those people that are close to you? We're talking about middle school age. We're talking about high school age. There are a lot of different events that take place, maybe even in your particular community. If you happen to come to Houston, though, you got to connect with Kahlil with TechFest Live. Now, this is something else that I want to speak on. Didn't know I was going to say this, but we've talked about this briefly, just off camera with just peers, right? And how important is it? You talked about this earlier as well. You mentioned it anyway. Seeing individuals that look like us in this space. From doing these events now, have you seen an uptick in that type of environment now with more African Americans? Like, is it becoming more aware, do you think, versus when you started? I think the conversations are becoming more in depth. I think people are actually starting to have the conversations. But I mean,
I think people feel like technology is like this new thing. Like I think there's like, like the last 10 years, like technology is going back 50 years. Like,
oh, for sure. Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? If you like from the whole landscape. So like we might have just been getting into the game to play, but this game has been played.
You opening up a worm right now
for a long time. So it's like we're new to it. So yeah, the conversations are gonna, we're trying to figure it out, but everybody else, they've been here. And so the fact that we're now just arriving is great. Like this is our time. But we gotta, it has to be more than just the conversations.
Yeah.
Like, I do love what Afrotech is doing and bringing that to not only Houston, but to all cities because it's needed. The exposure is the first piece.
Yeah.
Like for me, I can't force a student to go to college or I can't force I can't make them do anything, but I can expose them to the world of technology. So hopefully they see something and they go back home like, oh, mom, dad, I saw this here. And now I want to, look at this. Now I want to, you know what I'm saying? I
think that's very important anyway, is the exposure. Again, I don't remember being exposed. I know I was not exposed to the different things that take place as far as technology in our environment, in our schools, in our platforms. But I'm gonna go a little bit further here, go backwards, right? You mentioned that technology is not new, and it's amazing to me. But if you watch movies, any movie that talks about Vietnam and some of these other wars that were taking place, even before then, there was telecommunications, right? That's technology. They had antennas. They were able to communicate with home base with somebody wearing a big old backpack on, right?
Yep.
It's tech. We don't think about that, right?
Yeah.
So literally, it's like cell technology even back then.
Yeah.
And so that kind of blows my mind when I'm watching some of these movies, even the 007s back in. I mean, I'm a buff.
Yeah, I got you.
Right?
Yeah.
But so I watch some of those old movies that were like in the 70s, and I'm looking back. I'm like, did he have an earpiece in and he was talking to, you know what I'm saying? So just imagine not being exposed to it, but knowing that there are things out there such as that. It's like, it makes it feel like it's unreachable.
Yeah.
And I love what you're doing because you're exposing it, but it's also showing the individuals that it's in our grasp. Yeah,
because it like you said, like this world will make you really think that it's like you can't go out and touch it.
Yes, sir.
And I designed, like that is strategic because how else do you keep a large population of people down? You can't do it just willy nilly. You gotta be strategic. And so I think the more that we recognize the role that we play, the more that we continue to realize our, $1 trillion buying power.
Oh man, our 2 trillion almost. Yeah.
The more that we, look within ourselves, look to our brother, our sister and say, hey, like, have you seen it? Like, if we band together and we be responsible, we go back to being responsible and make it responsible.
I better be responsible, man.
I think we could turn this into something that's good for all people, right? Because at the end of the day, like
benefits doesn't benefit humanity.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, I agree with that 100%. In closing, well, I'll give you this question, then we'll close.
Okay.
In starting this company, right now, you started it, you've been running it through a pandemic, mind you. Salute to you for that.
Oh man,
right? For having the zeal to continue, because that's tough. But what are some challenges that maybe you faced in creating this company? Because there's somebody sitting at home right now that's watching this or listening to this as they're driving or just sitting still. Like, I want to do something like that in my community, but they're afraid. So can you speak to those individuals that, maybe some things or challenges that you went through that you were able to overcome?
Yeah, for sure. You're never not going to be nervous. You're never not going to be scared. Being scared actually means that you have some type of passion or something. Like, you know what I'm saying? If I'm going to play a basketball game and I'm not nervous, do I really care? I think nervousness is it's not, sometimes we look at it as a bad thing or being scared. It's not a bad thing. It's like you're wanting to accomplish something. And with that comes some sort of nervousness. For me, in starting this, I kind of touched on it earlier. I didn't necessarily have someone that was a nonprofit founder that was like, hey, let me take you by the reins and teach you how this goes. I didn't necessarily have someone that was a entrepreneur, maybe adjacent, but not someone directly. Both of my parents at the time were in corporate America,
Right.
so they weren't telling me, hey, this is how you should start this. I just started and I didn't stop. That's really how there's no secret sauce. There's no.
No, that is the secret sauce.
Well, that is the sauce, but
Yeah,
I think people that are listening sometimes, like even when I was younger or whatever, listening to people talk about them starting their businesses, it always felt like they were hiding some secret sauce, or they didn't. But from like
perseverance, like
literally,
essentially, what you're saying is like, yo, you got to endure it.
Yeah, like you literally got to endure it. You just got to show up. Like I just started showing up to things. I started going to more networking events. I just started talking about my business more, even if I didn't want to. And then the universe slowly started putting things and people and opportunities in my favor. And then I just kept showing up.
So I would dare say, based upon your response right now, that you invite, like your energy is what attracted the other things for what you need.
Most definitely.
One, you say you show up, right? You got to be responsible enough to show up for yourself. Two, you say you didn't quit, right? That's eerily important when you're doing any type of business. I don't care what it is. You didn't quit. And then three, you say you made yourself go out and speak about your business. Nobody knows your business exists unless you tell them, right? Yes, we live in a digital age right now. You all know that the podcast exists because you're listening or watching. Thank you. But I had to tell you this, right? You know what I mean? This exists strictly for a means of us getting the word out there. But don't be afraid, right? And even if you are afraid, as Kahlil just said, that's a good sign to let you know, like, listen, you're walking in your path. That means you're passionate. That means you are feeling what it feels like. Those emotions are great feelings. I love actually feeling. I don't know if I feel nervous anymore because now I'm like, and maybe that's the wrong word. Maybe I am nervous when I'm doing certain things.
But you relied on your experience. So you're like, yeah, but I've done this X amount of time. So like,
yeah, that's true.
It probably stays. It used to be 15 seconds you were nervous. Maybe it's like 3 seconds. And now you're like,
That's a good way to put that. Again, hey, listen, you can't never be too old to learn. And you're probably exactly right. Like, I definitely at first doing any type of business, I know I was more worried than nervous. I was more like, man, if this fails, what happens, right? And then for me, I had to learn, and I preach this now. I had to learn to stop using certain words because I think words have power. So I don't do the if thing. I don't do the maybe. Right? I'm like, this is going to do this. This is what I'm going to make happen. This is where I'm going.
I don't know if y'all really caught what Ryan was just saying, but like the power of your words is important. So yes, show up, yes, be responsible, all those things, but also you got to speak this stuff into existence. And what I mean by that is not just saying a bunch of nothing, but like when I'm here on this podcast, got the invite, but I'm choosing to say things that I know are going to go to the masses, right? Or even when I'm in a business conversation, or if I'm giving a pitch, like you gotta start tailoring your speech to the life that you want.
Yo, my man is
dropping some gems today, but we
straight up dropping a gem right now.
You gotta do it.
I need to put an explosion right there. Like,
we need some sound of
tailoring. Yeah, for sure. I'm throwing that in there. Sound effect guy, put that on. But listen, it's very important to understand, one, who you're speaking to. And a lot of times, this is what I tell people. When I'm doing things, I'm doing this for self. I speak or I say certain things for self because I'm listening to what it is that I'm saying. So if nobody else don't get it, I have to make sure that I believe what it is that I'm saying and or doing. Right? So like for me, this is a total, maybe that was a fear thing. Maybe that's something that I had to adapt, overcome, and conquer. I'll give that speech. And I learned that in the military. You adapt, whatever the situation is, you adapt to it, you overcome it. You got to go through it, overcome the situation, and then you conquer it. Because now I've adapted to it and now I've overcame it and now I'm conquering it. When I say conquer the situation, it means if I was fearful, once I conquered it, I'm no longer fearful. I've turned that fear into confidence now, right? In exiting today's message, I want to make sure that one, you guys are aware that tech exists in your community, right? In whatever city and state or location that you're in around the world, seek ye and find it, right? It does exist. You're probably listening or viewing this right now with some type of technology. Learn more, push it more. Explain this to your children, explain this to your kids, your nephews, your nieces, your grandkids, whatever it takes. Because guess what? They can be the next leaders in this technology field. It's so wide open.
They will be.
See what I'm saying?
They will be.
Let's take advantage of this. And again, I want to make sure that I give a shout out to Mr. Vinson for stopping by, taking his time away from going out there and recruiting and being the best at his business. But also shout out again, the Tech Fest information, how they can reach you, and the website.
Yeah. So TechFest Live is the name of the organization. You can reach us on our website at techfestlive.com. We're also on LinkedIn and Instagram, and we also do have a YouTube channel. Everything is TechFest Live. If you want to reach out to myself, maybe you want to sponsor, maybe you want to be a part of our exhibits, or you want to bring your child to the next TechFest Live event, you can reach out at info@techfestlive.com, or you can email me personally or Kahlil at TechFest Live, which is KHALIL at techfestlive.com.
I'm glad you broke it down like that because people will jack up your name.
Yeah. Happens all the time. But man, I appreciate the invite, man.
No, thank you for coming out, sharing your information and your knowledge, literally pun intended, with the people and the masses that are out there, man. Until next time, everybody, tune in to the M.O.R.A.L.S podcast.